So I was working out at the gym, and I was listening to Jars of Clay, which wasn't something that I typically listen to, but I was listening to the song Flood, and it talks about the 40 days in there, and I didn't really know what the 40 days were in reference to. I knew that I believed in God, or I thought I believed in God, but I wanted to find out more about Him. So I thought, 40 days, let's give God 40 days. 2 days after I decided that I would investigate God, I put a posting on Facebook to my friends saying, I'm looking into God, trying to figure this all out, and to give it a fair shot, I'm going to try to find a church. And I think I even said I'm interviewing churches, and I remember writing, pushy churches need not apply. I still remember the usher who brought me to the front row. I thought that was awesome. I was late, of course, and they were singing, and I was kind of looking around at everybody and seeing some hands up here and there, and that was new to me, and just trying to get a feel for everything. And I just remember being overwhelmed by the amount of people there. David started speaking, and I know I was in the front row, but it felt like he was speaking right to me. And so many times during that first service, I teared up and got emotional and just felt like this was where I needed to be. This was where God had sent me. I decided I'd give it a second week, and I came back, and that's when they did the cardboard testimonies. And that was when people came out with a piece of cardboard, and on one side they had what maybe a sin that they struggled with, or just a struggle that they've had in their life. And then they flipped over that cardboard, and it said how God had helped them through that struggle. And one of the church members that came out with a cardboard cutout about infertility, and that's what I was struggling with, and broke down, cried, and when she turned over her sign and it said that she was pregnant, I cheered. I didn't even notice who was around me. I just started clapping and cheering, and found her at the end of the service too. And that's kind of after my second week, I knew that this was where I belonged. Normally at service, I am hanging on every word that David's speaking. I'm normally very invested. But this one day I was just kind of out of it, and sorry, David, wasn't paying too much attention. And then one of the worship songs came on about giving your life to God. And suddenly in that moment, I just felt something and knew, this is it. This is it. I'm done. I'm done pretending. I'm done looking for reasons to believe. I'm just going to give my life to Christ. My husband is an avid hunter. So we've had discussions on him coming. He's definitely open to coming. He likes coming to Northridge. One day, my husband and I were watching a documentary on, I believe it was the Masons, and I had asked him, is there a religion associated with the Masons? And he explained that there wasn't. They just had to believe in a higher power. And so I asked my husband, after years of wondering, do you believe in God? And he said, yes. I said, do you believe in Jesus? And he said, yes. And I think I was shocked, and his response to me was, I have to believe in something. So right there, I knew that there was hope. And so it's pretty awesome to know that he'll get there someday through prayer, and I don't lose hope for my husband. I'll get him.
Well, he got me. It's been a long time coming, and there's been quite a bit of prayer and hope for this day from people that I don't even know, and quite a bit from my wife, Natasha, hoping that this time may come, and it did. Probably not as she planned. Prior to where I am now, the focus of my life has been about me and putting me in the center, and I did love my family and was happy to be with them. But there was always, how can I have time to go hunting? How can I have time to go ride and do the things that I wanted to do. I would come to church, and I would be very happy when I'd get the opportunity to join her and my son on those Sundays when the weather was bad and I couldn't go out in the woods. On those Tuesday night small groups when I didn't have anything going on or I didn't have to work, I would go along and I would feel comfortable. I knew I was in a good place because I was a good person and I was doing the right thing. I didn't really know that anything was missing. I didn't understand what that meant to trust in Christ and to know Christ. I knew all about the Bible. One day while I was at work, through a call that I was on, I actually had the opportunity to interact with a gentleman that had a lot of similarities. I could really see myself in him. Through a long conversation with him and him sharing his story with me, we talked about a lot of things. And one of the things when we were speaking, he encouraged me to read the Bible. And I said, it's a big book. I don't even know where to start. And he said, just start right at John. So that day when I went home after work, and I woke up, I started reading. I started right at John, and it really hit home. It spoke to me, and I realized what was missing, and I became very excited about God and about getting to learn about Jesus and actually placing him in the center of our lives. And whereas most people speak and you hear about their story and they say they were tapped on the shoulder and kind of given a push by God, he came into my life with a bang. It was quite an experience. So in the past, life has been about me and what can I do to be happy and to do the things that I want to do. And now I look forward to putting others first and seeing what I can do to help them. And I'm doing that, trying to do that through showing grace and not expecting anything in return, just knowing that that's the right thing to do. And it feels amazing. I know I'm not always going to be perfect, and that's the way it's supposed to be. Jesus was perfect and he died for us. So knowing that we wouldn't be, but the goal is to strive to be like that, be as much like Jesus as we can. So I'm here today to share with everyone that I do give up. I'm here to get baptized and to proclaim my faith in Jesus Christ.
Your story is such an amazing example that a prayer for someone's salvation is never in vain. And the day that you told me that God had literally opened up a door for you to have a relationship with Christ, I felt that I could marry you all over again. I'm so glad that we get to stand here together today to say that God is at the center of our hearts, our marriage, and our family. Based on your profession of faith, it is my honor as your wife to finally baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.